Go.
Greetings, Batavia Mayor Jeff Schielke speaking to you on Friday, July the 8th, 2022. First of all, I want to just not only apologize but explain. Last week I was unable to basically do this because number one, we were fairly busy, but secondly, I was having real big issues with my voice, and my doctor was able to give me some medicine and cleared that problem up in about 24 hours. But a week ago today, I would have been a hard person to understand. So hopefully that won't happen again, but I just wanted everybody that knows. I've had several people call me and ask about it and encourage me to see the doctor, which I already have done and everything. So everything's okay, and I just wanted all my good friends out there to know that I'm alive and well and kicking strong. First of all, I'd like to number one, make a public thanks to all those specifically on our staff, certainly the police department, the fire department, the public works folks, the emergency services and disaster agency, and our public works had to come in and do a few things on various street lights and barricades and things like that. And certainly the fire department was at the whole occasion the entire night of last Monday and overseeing everything. And other than some would-be bad person put some fireworks in one of our porta potties and kind of blew it up just as we were starting the fireworks, the fire department was almost instantly on the site and got the smoke and everything cleared up and made sure there was nothing further dangerous there. And the big hero certainly was the Batavia Police Department, who, given the earlier events of the day up in Highland Park, it certainly gotten a lot of people highly concerned. And I, at the end of the day, have to take the responsibility for making the decision to go ahead and fire the fireworks last Monday night. And I did that based on a couple of factors. Number one was the safety for the remainder of the week. In checking with the Weather Bureau that night and with our ESDA folks, we have good connections into the Weather Bureau. They had informed us that last Monday night was probably going to be the only night that they could guarantee that there wouldn't be somewhat of a significant rainstorm at some point during the evening. And in our case, they told us that it probably wouldn't start. If it did, it would be after 11:30 time frame, which it was. And that maybe we would get an occasional sprinkle of a few drops, which we did have a couple times near the end of the fireworks. But overall, we were able to pull the show off. And you think about it, we had $40,000 worth of fireworks sitting out in the middle of the field at Mooseheart that had already been put into the ground and hooked up to its computer systems and everything else. And to have somebody have to come in and take all that down and then not being able to tell them what next day that they could count on to shoot that was very problematic. And with the good police department I had every confidence, which I knew I would, and we did, that they would keep a strong eye on things and were very protective of what was going on there. So we were able to put the fireworks show together and fire it off. And I know I talked to several people who were telling me they were at friends' houses or whatever have you, and people were inquiring, do you think we're really going to have the fireworks, or are we all just sitting here wasting our time? And people who knew me said, well, knowing Jeff, he's probably going to try to pull this off. And I did, and it was totally on my shoulders as to what was going to happen, but based on the best advice I could get, and certainly, I wanted to specifically honor our country on July the 4th because that is its birthday, and I think it's certainly more meaningful for the current generations and those young people in this world to understand the various essence and strength and traditions that are behind 4th of July and Batavia and every other town throughout the country. And I certainly wanted to do everything we could to try to preserve that good thought process going forward. So there's been a couple times I've had to cancel the show just as the show was getting ready to start. That's the real bad one. This one, at least we had 3 or 4 hours lead time that we could make sure that we weren't going to get any rain. And if you sat there during the fireworks, you could look at some pretty healthy thunderstorms that were taking place up in McHenry County and up in Boone County. But as the Weather Bureau told us, it would stay up there, and it did. And it didn't rain here till around midnight or thereafter. So I'm glad we got it over with, because it certainly would have, I'm sure, inconvenienced a number of people. It would have taken us away from the date of special importance as it applies to the birth of America and our traditions, and I think it hopefully sent a message to anybody that, you know, Batavia's here to stand forward and be a fan and supporter of our country and do those things that are the right things to do. So I just want to thank everybody involved, because everybody did join with me and supported what we decided to do. And I am glad it all came out the way it did, and we'll look forward to next year on the 4th of July. This current moment on Friday, we are starting the Windmill City Fest in downtown Batavia. So if you're watching this from some other community nearby, I'd encourage you to come by either tonight, Friday, or Saturday or Sunday. And in addition to the normal events of, you know, food booths and beer table and all the other good stuff that we do in regards to this, we just ask that you abide by our rules and stay within confined areas if you're going to consume some alcohol, and also that we, you know, have the ability to, you know, allow for some diversions. Specifically tomorrow, their farmers market is going to be there, and I guess at that time we're going to add a Boo Boo Days celebration like old time Batavia used to have, and a bunch of the stores and merchants are going to offer for sale various items that they're trying to get rid of at discount prices. So we've got that coming, and I will be very, very, very pleased and see a good crowd here tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday. And I think it's about 6 o'clock or so on Sunday night when this thing kind of wraps up. But we want to encourage everyone to come down and be part of the community and talk with what's going on. It was interesting the last couple of weeks when I've been walking around down here on Saturday morning, the number of people that you find that have strayed into Batavia because they've heard about the neat things that we do here. And this past weekend, I talked to some people who were here from Belvedere and another group of folks that were here from Huntley. And those are quite distance away, but people wanted to heard about Batavia, heard about the boardwalk shops, heard about the farmers market. And I know in the case of the farmers market, we do have some farmers and vendors who come down here from Boone County, which is around Belvedere, and they have some very good products that they offer. So we are getting quite a bit of attention to what we're doing here, and it seems to grow with intensity and support as the passage of time. So Batavians should be very, very proud of all the things we're doing, and we just want to you know, thank everybody for stepping forward. I think you have to appreciate that when you do a deal like the fireworks show, there's a lot of people involved in it. There's a whole team of folks that basically put the thing together over the whole year-long period between shows. There's a lot of it involved in raising money. There's a lot of it involved in planning and what the show's going to look like, what the music's going to be, and there's a lot of people that, you know, are here to do what they can. And I just want to thank all those on the fireworks committee for all they did this year to make sure that we turned it out and did it as great as we did. So to those, I think offer a real big thanks, and we will look forward again to next year. Should be the 73rd time we've attempted to fire fireworks in Batavia, and as I've said before, we always have done it to this point, and this year being no exception, that we did it with all donated money, so we didn't use any tax dollars on it or anything else. So I am just very appreciative for what Batavia is doing, continues to do, and hopefully we're sending some messages for future generations and future city leaders as to nice things that you can do to make your town a very active and proud place for people to proudly call home. And certainly there's a lot that goes into that, but I think just the sentiments that you find and the support that seems to avail itself around downtown Batavia really speaks to the strength that we have as a community. And so with that, I'm going to end this week and wish you all a good week, and look forward to talking to you next week.